Hi, I'm Brien Lundin, and I'm here with another backstage interview of the Metals Investor Forum. And I'm speaking now with Peter Akerley, CEO and head honcho in charge of Erdene Resources. Actually, I think it's Erdene Resource Development, right,
That's
Peter?
right. Yeah.
The symbol ERD on the Toronto Exchange. And Peter, I'm very happy to be a shareholder, first of all, of Erdene. I bought all my stock in the market. Very happy to see it because let's just go down the checklist a little bit. You've got a resource of a little over 1 million ounces, fast track to production that should, just as a natural re-rating as we go up that Lassonde curve and get into production, you could be re-rated looking at your peers easily 3 times just on that. You also have another resource of about a 500,000 ounces of pit-constrained resource in another project. You have a fairly new discovery 4.5 kilometers away from your Bayan Khundii resource that's going into development, and you have subsequent drilling between the two, but along that 4.5 kilometers that show the potential for new discoveries or some continuity over that 4.5 kilometers. What we're looking at here is really a clean slate on exploration standpoint. From an exploration standpoint, the potential to add over 1 million ounces of new high-grade resource, but you already have a project that's probably worth about 1/3 of what it should be very soon. So let's expand on that a little bit. I don't want to steal all of your thunder here, but maybe I have. But let's expand on that a little bit and provide some details. Fill it in for us.
Sure. Thanks very much, Brian. Happy to. So, I went into this district over a decade ago and saw the potential to explore this terrific gold belt, part of the Central Asian orogenic belt that had never before witnessed modern exploration. And we have now discovered 2 gold deposits, and as you've just outlined, have a multitude of opportunities in front of us. And our strategy is to move rapidly into production on the initial deposit, Bayan Khundii, which contains about 600,000 ounces of high-grade open pitable gold, 3.7 grams per ton, which puts us at about 3 times the global average open pit grade. But we really see that as a start. We see that as that base from which we can generate significant cash flow. In this case, 40 to 50 million US dollars in after-tax net cash flow that will sustain us for a long period of time to unlock the true value of this district, which is in a belt that hosts several multi-million ounce deposits. In fact, some of the largest gold deposits globally sit on this trend. And so we see this as a long-term opportunity to develop a multi-million ounce district. And Bayan Khundii will be the start of that. But as you mentioned, Dark Horse, we just announced this, the results started to come in about Christmas. So we announced this in early January. But one of our early holes in there within 10 meters of surface was 45 meters of 6 grams. And that's a testament to what sits out here in this newly explored district is these very, very high grades sitting at surface because nobody's ever explored it. Nobody's ever had a chance to get in there and mine it. If those types of grades sat in Nevada or Ontario or wherever it may be in a mature mining district, they'd be gone in an instant. They're just that valuable. And I feel like, as I said to you earlier, I feel like a kid in a candy store with this new opportunity as a geologist to go out there and explore this terrific belt of rocks. And we're already proving what it has available to us with 2 high-grade deposits and many prospects.
Yeah, when I look at it as obviously writing a newsletter focusing on junior resource stocks, we're always looking for the next 10 bagger. What's even better than if you're looking at a company that has potential to be a 10 bagger, an exploration story, which those typically are, is an exploration story that's backed up by a development story that gives you a backstop, a potential, base case situation of only, say, a 3 bagger. So that's the kind of potential we're looking at. Now, that's the valuation case. If we're talking about the sheer excitement of an exploration story, you have 9 holes, I believe, that are soon to be reported that were granted kind of scout holes along that 4.5 kilometer trend from the discovery to the proven resource.
Mhm.
But going out along that trend on some potentially other cross-cutting structures. Can
Exactly.
you talk to us a little bit? I don't know if you've seen assays, and I know you wouldn't talk about those anyway,
Mhm.
but can you talk to us a bit about the targeting of that? What led you to cite those drill holes?
Sure. It was a exciting discovery. In fact, we had discovered some high-grade gold to the east of this dark horse discovery, and it sounds like results that other companies in mature mining districts may chase aggressively, but we were getting multi-ounce intersections in drill holes at Altan Nar, Dark Horse, and grab samples at surface that were 10 to 80 grams per ton. But we weren't seeing this large bulk tonnage opportunity with the halo of low grade. But we started to see some indicator element association that led us back into this north-south trend. And our first hole into that intersected over 100 meters of gold mineralization, albeit low grade. It was half a gram to a gram. We stepped out from that and hit the 45 meters of 6 grams I alluded to earlier. Effectively, we've proven up 1.2 kilometers of mineralization that only has 4 drill holes in it at this point. What I've done is gone in and said, okay, well, let's try to form a perimeter around this. Let's understand how big the system may be. There's intersecting northeast structures. There's parallel structures on either side. So we put 9 scout holes into those areas, which we'll have results for by the time we're into late March, which will help us define the full constraints of this program. And then we'll go in and start to drill off this 1.2 kilometer trend and perhaps areas beyond that, depending on these results. So I expect as we hit late March and throughout Q2, we'll be doing a much more fulsome program to understand the dark horse system as we see it today. And that dark horse system, that 1.2 kilometers, is right in line along a north-south structure with the Bayan Khundii deposit to the south. So there's another 2.5 kilometers between those two areas that's yet to be explored. So all kinds of room for further exploration here in the dark horse to Bayan Khundii area.
That I think to me as a shareholder and somebody covering the story is the most exciting part of the exploration right now, because you've got those 9 scout holes. If you can prove some cross-cutting structures, is great. Another aspect that's very exciting is the fact that you got really, really high grade, as you say, what would be by itself a company maker hole in any other environment, any other in Nevada or Ontario, et cetera. And then stepping out from that, you got that long intersection of lower grade disseminated material, which is exactly what you want. You want high grade surrounded by bulk tonnage to really build up the ounces and show fast payback. But you've also got, again, that untested portion so far, that 4.5 kilometers. At Altan Nar, you've got 5.5 kilometers of trend, lots of exploration potential there, more of a multi-metallic situation there. You've got the gap zone in the middle of your 2 high grade sections of the primary resource at Altan Nar. Yep. You've got it completely, and wait, there's more. You've got all the land that you've got now, I guess almost doubled again by a new option that is completely virgin territory, although has the very similar geological potential. In the time we have left, can you talk a bit about that?
Yes, certainly. So to the west of the Bayan Khundii deposit and to the west of the Dark Horse area is a license called the Ulan license. And we had done a deal back in 2017 to acquire a 51% interest in that project. We saw great similarities with the host rocks we saw on the Khundii license. And in fact, now we see that Ulan license is part of a much larger alteration system that has potential for both gold and copper. We had limited our exploration to the minimum amount we had to do to be able to acquire 100%. We had paid $750,000 for 51%. We had to spend $600,000 to have the right to acquire the rest. So just last year, we had completed the spend of $600,000. We did a financing last year that allowed us to buy out the remaining interest. So it's just now that we can freely explore the rest of that license, and that'll quickly follow on the heels of the work we do at Dark Horse, but great indications of similar gold mineralizing environments on the Ulan license.
Peter, that's about all the time we have. We could talk, I think, for another hour. this is a story for our viewers that has all the elements that you would find in some 4 or 5 other junior exploration development companies, and it's all in one company. 2 or 3 clear paths to much higher valuations here, some more sure than others, some more spectacular or higher potential than others. Very excited as a shareholder again myself to see what you've got coming up over the weeks and months ahead, and drill results coming up very soon.
Thank you very much, Brien. Always appreciate it.